Okay, so since my fuel pump is bad, I decided I'd jack up the car and hack out the old fuel filter. Love that black color, don't you? I'd ordinarily used a torch, but since it's a fuel system, that seemed like it turned into a hot idea real quick. To put a little, I think it's an Edelbrock micro fuel pump in there. Okay, that's the fuel pump sort of mocked in place for now-ish, and sort of hooked up, but I haven't got the wires tucked or anything finalized, or it actually even attached to anything but the lines, so gonna have to deal with that, but I should be able to at least test it now and see if I can pour 20-year-old gasoline all over everything. Not sure how well you're gonna be able to see that. Ugh. Yeah, trim the beginning. Okay, don't really got the best view, but I got the fuel pump in and working, or at least tested. Now, I'm going to run the wires up. Well, wire singular. Run the power wire up, which you can't really see. To a secret location that's definitely not outer space. Here it is. Really? Did I go all the way forward? Well. Just about there. You can tell it is a little bit toasty. So, got the wires run up. Again, wire. Since I'm not a smoker, figured that's a good use for the ashtray. I'm thinking I'll actually get to put use to at least one of these switches at the moment for the fuel pump. Have to get into it. Well, that's what I did. I do kind of have a switch plate then. Hang on, I seen it a second ago there. And that is power from the switch to the pump. Next I got to work out what my supply is going to look like. I'm not sure if I want to just tap into a keyed circuit or not. But I guess we will see. Okay, got everything wired up at least for the temporary. See if I can make old fuel come out. Yeah, I've got some air coming through the line. It's trying. Well, with the fuel system more or less complete, if not fully assembled, the next step would probably be to throw about 5 gallons of gas in it, which I do not have. I think that's going to be a stop after work tomorrow. So, well, the professionals say that the interesting stuff always happens when the camera is off. You can't really see that this line is full of gasoline, but yeah, it was just out of gas, so I sort of rigged it up as I'm inclined to try and start it, and it kind of started on fire. Safety first, people. Okay, putting on this lovely fuel pressure regulator. Well, maybe this lovely fuel pressure regulator. Get it all on and fit it up is fairly reasonable. You need, probably not supposed to use Teflon tape, but oh well. And in this case, an 11/16 wrench for the fittings. And a knife. And I'll have to do that incredible bit where I go, ta-da, it's in. That's quite the shortcut. I'm going to have to remember that one. Okay. I have yet to leak test it, and I had to kind of do a little custom adaptation, but let's see if it leaks before I do anything foolish this time. Don't know if you can hear it, but the fuel pump is running. And the concrete below the car is still dry, which I consider a victory. You have to kind of make sure that isn't leaking either. See what happens when I do this. Close. Come on. Really? Just smoke though, no fire this time. That's a good sign. I think I need to set up plug wires and to tweak my ignition timing just a little bit. Okay, so since right now the spark plugs that are in the engine came out of the salvage yard with the rest of the engine, figured a new set might be in order. Now, when you take these right out of the box, you can just chuck them in, no problems, right?
No.
See, he gets it, and he don't even know this stuff. Wrong end of the box. You want to use spark plug gapping tool to make sure they're gapped right. I've already checked one of the boxes, so I doubt I will get to show you how to make the gap smaller. In these cases, we want them gapped to 0.035 inches. That's how you check it usually if you were going to gap it. I really wish I had a bad plug for this. You'd take something solid like this part of the engine and you'd smack it down to close the gap and then check it again. It's really quite something to watch. So I ran down to the race shop this morning to get me a HEI type distributor because I burnt out the point style one. Then this happened. I feel like there might be a pattern here. I guess we'll have to see. Let's go for some one-shot camera work, because I only got one shot to put this on right without messing up the... And goop. It's not using gaskets on these. Wow, it is on the OEM stuff, but not on aftermarket malarkey. Oh, crap. Nailed it. Not really. Oh yeah, that's on crooked. The camera jig only barely clears that. Dang. Trick here is you want to wind the screws in enough to hold the gaskets in place. Then I'm told a little RTV on the bolts never hurt nobody. Okay. Instructions say put the supplied funny goopy crap all over the oil pump drive gear. I suppose I ought to start with that. I can move the hold down clamp and whatever that is. Really in and out with this thing a dozen times. Because you never just... and it goes in. It looked like it, but it really isn't. It's not engaging the oil pump drive like it is meant to. And I could not tell you second try. I'm actually impressed with myself. Perhaps a tad prematurely. You're wondering why I was doing that just there? Have no fear, I am not going to tell you. Yeah, like that. Feel like the... No, it's not. Ooh, I like that. Which is code for oh no I don't. And now I bumped the camera. Oh, that's not it. The following is going to be a 3.5 hour montage of me fiddling with this. That seems right. I think. Couple updates. I was having deep-like carburetor expert, which I am not, type issues on my Holly, so I put a quadrajet on there. Go ahead and go nuts in the comments, both of you. But it's bigger and it works, I think. Got a new set of plug wires to put on. I've got a temporary fuel line to give me an idea of what I actually need for a real fuel line at some point. A neighbor with a noisy Mustang. Ew. And I am going to do some setup changes so that the Rochester will actually work on top of this engine. Okay, so I'm adjusting carb to put it on, making sure everything's cool. And the mixed screws are funny. Never seen something like that before, haven't in a long time, so this screwdriver had to be improvised to go actually in here and work. Just fun quadrajet things, I guess. Had the quadrajet pulled off for a clean. Could have videoed that, but it got kind of involved. A few lucky viewers will know how involved that got. Ha. So now this goes back on there. Super complicated. It'll take 2 whole wrenches. That is in. Ooh, and shaky. And now I have reached the point where it's loosely hooked up and there's no gas in the car. So, gonna have to remedy that. Okay, try number again, I guess. So it should basically almost. It's getting much closer. It's kind of irritating.
Nah, just start it.
That means exactly where I want it.
Alright. Try this time with fuel.
No. Crank it.
Now it's out of fuel.